Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the Bitcoin short positions are continuing to close, but I'll be talking about that in just a moment because here in the shorter term, looking at the Bitcoin 4-hour chart, we are seeing this previous bullish divergence starting to wear off because if you're looking in the Bitcoin RSI, this is starting to trend to the downside in the immediate short term, and even the 4-hour MACD is starting to lose some of that bullish momentum with the histogram now slightly trending to the downside. But these are exactly the type of things that we need to see in order to continue to form this inverse head and shoulders pattern on the 4-hour time frame. You can see here that we've already formed the left shoulder, we've already formed the head, and right now we are potentially just beginning to form this right shoulder. Ideally, what we need to see is a bit of a short-term pullback and then a bounce somewhere around 43,000. Obviously, it can be a little bit below 43,000 or a little bit above 43,000. And then what we will need to see is the price come back up towards this neckline, which is coming in at around 44.8k approximately. And then in order to confirm this pattern, we obviously need to see a breakout above that neckline after forming a possible right shoulder here. So as of right now, at the time of recording this video, I want to make it clear that this pattern has not been confirmed. But if we do end up confirming this pattern with the right shoulder and a breakout above the neckline, then in that case, that will set up a bullish price target to the upside. In fact, that possible bullish price target would be coming in close to 48,000. And speaking of inverse head and shoulders pattern, of course, on the daily time frame, we also have an inverse head and shoulders pattern that has formed but has not been confirmed because we're still waiting for a possible breakout above the neckline. And by the way, the neckline for this inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame is coming in at the same sort of price as this smaller inverse head and shoulders pattern. And obviously, with this inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame being a bigger pattern, that means it's going to give us a bigger price target to the upside if once again we see a breakout above this neckline first. And if you watched yesterday's Bitcoin update video, you would know that the price target for this pattern is coming in at the high $50,000 price range, close to 60,000. But I want to make it clear that even if we confirm a breakout here and set up this bullish price target, we're still going to find some points of resistance in between the current price and that higher price target. And something else that hasn't really changed since yesterday is the 12-hour Bitcoin chart. First of all, in the parabolic stop and reverse indicator, technically speaking, this is still looking bullish for now. And in order for this to flip red again, we'll need to see a break below these green dots coming in at just underneath 42,000. But something that I also mentioned yesterday to do with the 12-hour Bitcoin chart was the fact that the price oscillators never really flipped bullish again. For example, looking in the Bitcoin 12-hour RSI, this is currently making lower highs, which is not really a good sign. At the moment, this is not a bearish divergence because we haven't made a higher high in the price. So really, there would be two ways for the short-term situation here to get a little bit more bearish. The first way we could get more bearish in the shorter term is, like I said, if we form that bearish divergence, and for that, we'll need to see the Bitcoin price form a slight higher high. But then another way where we could be looking more bearish here in the shorter term is if the 12-hour RSI starts breaking below this low right here, which is coming in at around 52 approximately, because in that case, that would mean that the RSI is making a lower low and we've already confirmed a lower high. So something like that happening would essentially confirm a short-term downtrend in the 12-hour RSI, which would not be good for the Bitcoin price because, for example, the last time that we saw something like that was back during December leading into early this year, and during that sort of time period, we saw a lot of bearish price action for Bitcoin. And also, like I said yesterday, the 12-hour Bitcoin MACD is still yet to flip bullish again. So because of these reasons right here, I'm definitely paying strong attention to what's happening in the price oscillators, because if the price oscillators start flipping bearish, then sometimes that can act as a leading indicator for what's happening in the price. But with that being said, here on the daily time frame, taking a look at some Fibonacci levels on the linear chart, we have still got some strong support for Bitcoin at this previous 23.6% Fibonacci level, coming in at around 41,500. And obviously, this level has been back tested multiple times here in the past. So it is very important that Bitcoin holds above 41,500. And as for a possible point of resistance, we still have this 38.2% Fibonacci level coming in at approximately $46,000 to $47,000 per Bitcoin. And if you're looking back here during December 2021, we saw a lot of support at around 46,000, and previous support usually flips into new resistance if we are below it. But this chart right here shows us the percentage of Bitcoin short positions on the Bybit exchange. And what we have seen over the past 2 to 2.5 weeks approximately is a small downtrend in the Bitcoin short positions, which has resulted in some bullish price action over the past 2 to 3 weeks, obviously. And the reason why that is the case is basically because if you close a Bitcoin short position, you essentially have to buy back into Bitcoin, which is providing buying pressure for the Bitcoin price. And this can be seen during any significant downtrend in the Bitcoin Bitcoin short positions, because during these time periods, we usually see a lot of bullish price action for Bitcoin. And so if the percentage of Bitcoin short positions continues to go down, then it's very likely that we're going to stay in the same short-term trend that Bitcoin has been in over the past 2 to 3 weeks. And obviously that has been a short-term bullish trend. And speaking about bullish trends, here we are on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, taking a look at the parabolic stop and reverse indicator. And this is just to remind you that here on the bigger picture, on the larger timeframes, we are still seeing some of these major reversal signals like this parabolic stop and reverse indicator flipping into the green, because you can simply take a look at the previous times where this has happened, and pretty much every single time here, that essentially marks the beginning of a new uptrend in the price of Bitcoin on the larger timeframes. But for any of the beginners out there, I want to make it extra clear that even if we enter a new uptrend here on the larger timeframes due to reversal signals like this, that doesn't mean that we're only going to see bullish price action, because for example, if you're looking at some of these previous uptrends, we still see some short-term bearish price action here and there, just like how in these downtrends we see some short-term bullish price action here and there. So that is definitely something to keep in mind moving forward. And if we do experience that bearish price action, just zoom out on the larger timeframes and see if it really impacts us on the bigger picture here. Anyway, if you found this video useful or simply enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important updates that I post every single day. And if you are serious about making a lot more money in the crypto markets, I've got a full trading tutorial video and a passive income video popping up right here on the screen. And both of these videos reveal ways to make even more money in crypto, whether or not prices are going up or down. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.